doing? This is Jeffrey Moore from HireUS TV. I have the awesome pleasure of having Amy Feest from the Office of Workforce and Lifelong Learning over at Southern. Did I say that right, Amy?
You did. You said it perfectly right.
Awesome. I am excited to have you on our podcast today, our Level Up podcast, and talk about the exciting new things that are going on at Southern. So, Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me today. Greatly appreciate it. Love spending time talking about kind of our new office and the great things that we're doing. My name is Amy Feest, and I am the director here at the Office of Workforce and Lifelong Learning at Southern Connecticut State University. I've got a long background in higher education. I've been in the business for about 25 years. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I spent about 15 years of that on the credit side, in both as a teacher and as an administrator. And about 10 months ago now, had this amazing opportunity here at Southern to build a unit of continuing education. So we have spent the last maybe almost a year now creating and developing our office, and we've named it the Office of Workforce and Lifelong Learning. And for anybody who knows Southern Connecticut State University, we're the Southern Owls, and then the acronym for our office is the Owls, the OWLLS. So our office is very focused on providing workforce development, professional development, and lifelong learning to not only Southern students, but to Southern alumni and to really the greater New Haven and beyond community.
Awesome. And so, when it comes to workforce development, especially certification training, what does Southern have to offer to the people?
Sure, absolutely. So we're new. We've only been around. We actually started to do our first programming about a month and a half ago now. So we are growing, and every day you ask me that question, you'll get more and more programs that we've added to our menu. But we have quite a few classes that are actually live. We're well known for our drone academy. Southern has had a drone academy for
Wow.
quite a few years, a non-credit drone academy. So that drone academy is a 5-week training for somebody who wants to learn how to be a drone operator and really be prepared for the FAA drone test. So that class is offered every spring and every fall. We're right in the middle of our spring class right now, where students get hands-on flight time and learn video editing and a whole bunch of really good skills that they can do as a hobbyist, or even more importantly, take into a career. It's amazing the things you can do with drones nowadays. I just heard a podcast the other day where one of the greatest growth in drones, believe it or not, is power washing. They attach drones to a power washer and they kind of go out to the outside of a building, but just aerial photography and real estate, all kinds of things. We do have,
Wow,
yeah, it's
Amy, that
really
is
cool.
awesome. So
Stuff I didn't
I
know.
want to I don't want to get the cat out the bag though, but when I was in middle school, I used to fly paper planes around the classroom. Unfortunately, let's not go back to that. But however, what kind of careers can other careers can you have with your drone certification?
So with drone certification, you really could go out and do from everything from working with real estate companies to do drone photography for when you're trying to sell a house or a commercial business. A lot of times, the architects will hire drones so that they can go out and do site when they would like want to look at property lines and look at property. You can be used to inspect roofs, to inspect anything that you really can't get to very easily. And you need to, the drone can get places that we can't get as kind of individuals, but there's also a really big need for people who are drone trained in fire and police and in rescue and in kind of that whole first responder world. So really the world of drones is just growing exponentially. And that's just, just photography, just drone photography. You're at a baseball game, you see drones flying around doing the photography end of it. So it's really an entry level understanding for anybody who wants to explore a variety of careers, and it's only going to grow the industry. So it's a great program for people to take advantage of. But we don't just do drones. So we do have a whole bunch of classes in computer science that we've been growing. We have an Amazon Web Services certified cloud practitioner class. So we have one class right now that's going on, but every about 10 weeks, we start a new class. So we have another one that'll be starting up in June. We do have several classes in Python, which is really the language of computer science now. Anybody who has Python skills really opens the doors to a lot of jobs that require the JavaScript. We do have a program that we're just about to launch in both Google Project Management and Google Digital Cloud Leader. So two really in-demand Google trainings. They will both be kicking off this summer. Those are being created as we speak. We have a program that's going to be launched in July that is going to be Intel AI fundamentals. So anybody who needs to get an idea of how can AI be used in the workplace, there's going to be a nice training on that. It'll be a 5-week training that we are really hoping is popular. And once that is off the ground, we're going to be looking to do AI training in other areas, like industry specific training. So that's a kind of an area of growth for us. We are about to launch a tourism, hospitality, and event management certificate. So anybody who is either working in any of those areas that would like to get some career growth or is looking to break into any of those areas, there will be an opportunity to do either a 5-part training, or people can take just specific areas. Like if you're only interested in event management, there'll be a smaller certificate just in that. And we are working on a conference this fall that will be working with adults with autism. And it will be a series of trainings that will be specifically for people who want to learn more about adults with autism. So, here at Southern, we have kind of a lot of areas of expertise, and we are really looking to build on those areas to provide that workforce training for people who are either in the specific industries or want to break into different industries.
These days to have availability to not just reskill, but to upskill and to grow their personal development in order for them to understand the new trends that are going on in the labor market.
Absolutely.
And that is a testament to the great work that you guys are doing over at Southern. And so, like one individual, they may have barriers in order to obtain education. One of the barriers may be affordability. How is Southern going around to solve those types of issues for individuals?
So there's a couple different pieces. I think it's important for people to realize that anything that happens in a non-credit division like this in any other school, financial aid unfortunately doesn't cover the cost of something that's not on the credit side. So we have to be very conscious of that. So there's a couple different pieces to that. One, we really try to keep our classes affordable. We really want to make sure that we are providing opportunities for people to gain credentials or skills without having to really have the high cost of what higher education unfortunately often has attached to it. So we have trainings that are as low as $50 and they go up from there. So you can really, we really try to keep it affordable. We absolutely work with local workforce boards. So what that means for your listeners is if you go to one of your local workforce board, like the Workforce Alliance or the Workplace, they have training opportunities that they partner with us, and federal funds are available so that students can sign up for some of our classes with no cost to them, that these federal funds will help pay for it. There's also the opportunity, some people choose that they might take out a personal loan if it's a training that they know is going to move them into a new direction. So sometimes an investment in yourself of $500 or $1,000 to get a skill that's going to give you a lifetime of future earning opportunity, people find that it's a very reasonable investment in themselves.
Oh, Amy, that is excellent. And so I know that Southern has rolled out a child care program for individuals that may need a little additional help with childcare costs. Can you tell us a little snippet about that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm not very involved with our child center, but I can tell you, interestingly, my student worker who works for me, as we speak, just popped by my office and has her daughter is in our child center, and she's going over there because they are doing a program today, and she loves it. It is services available for the students here at Southern, and they can bring their children here while they're in classes, credit or non-credit, and they can have childcare available to them, because we know childcare is one of the biggest barriers for individuals to be able to go back to school. And so our child center kind of opens that door for individuals. I don't have the specifics on the prices or some of the actual requirements, but I know it's all on the Southern website. And I do know that it was developed very specifically to be affordable. It is intended as a resource, not as a way to make money.
Yeah, correct. Excellent. So, Amy, I do have one more question that one of our listeners actually chimed in. And that question is revolving around on campus. So
Yep.
is most of the training opportunities on campus, or are they remote or
Actually,
hybrid?
it's actually a combination. So we do certain trainings on campus when it really seems the most appropriate. So our drone academy actually is a good example of a 50-50. So if you're going to learn how to fly a drone, you need to come to campus. So we actually have the live flying times here right on campus. But there are other pieces of that training that are done remotely. So we have certain nights that class meets virtually. Our programming really is about 50-50 split. We do have about half of our programming that's here on campus, that's in the evening or on weekends, and the rest of it is offered virtually. But virtually doesn't mean on your own. So a lot of our virtual classes will have live virtual meetings, just like you and I are doing right now. So it's not like people are expected to do 100% of the learning by themselves. We know you can go just about anywhere and do that. We want to offer you opportunities with live time with an instructor to ask your questions and to actually learn from. So you'll find that most of our training, even if it's virtual, has either required or optional live meeting times with instructors to just to make sure that people are really getting the support that they need. We have a medical Spanish class this summer, and it meets Tuesdays and Thursday evenings live with an instructor, but it's virtual. So you can be anywhere and you can just log on and you'll get that live training, which you don't have to drive all the way down here to New Haven. So if it's not convenient for you, you don't have, to your point before, childcare, that can be a big deterrent for somebody. And that offers the opportunity to still get this training without having to kind of have to juggle that as well.
Excellent. And so you did mention about English as a second language as well. Are some of the programs also translated into Spanish or other languages?
So we do have some classes on our website that are done in Spanish. So we work with a company called MindEdge, and they have created some content for us in Spanish. So if you go to the Office of Workforce and Lifelong Learning's website, which is really southernct.edu/OWL. It's pretty easy, OWL with two L's. And you go to programs, you will see that there are actually some programs that are available fully in Spanish. We are hoping to do more programs in person and live in Spanish. The ones in Spanish right now are a little bit more structured to be a learn on your own, but we do want to move forward with developing more Spanish programs because we know that that is a need in the community.
Phenomenal. Can you just please tell Southern to stop growing? I mean, you guys are rolling out phenomenal programs left and right, and
Yep,
it's all
nope.
about helping the individuals upskill themselves to obtain great careers.
Yeah, we are not going to stop growing. Fortunately, we want to serve our community. We really want to be responsive to the needs of the community. And my office in particular, we really want to help people to reskill and upskill and to get into better jobs. We know that it changes a family tree. It doesn't just change an individual life. When somebody gets themselves into a position that they can provide more opportunities for their family, that is a ripple effect. And to me, that's why I went into higher education. Just knowing that you've changed someone's family tree is just an amazing experience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is phenomenal. So, how can businesses get connected with Southern, especially for individuals that they have that want to probably go back to school to retrain or reskill?
Yep, absolutely. So here in my office, if right on our website there's a link and it says training opportunities that can be, and I'm trying to think of the right word right now. I think it's individualized training or personalized training. We do work with companies that will come to us and say, listen, I have 10 employees and they want to have some kind of a special training just for my corporation, and we will find a trainer for them and we will put together training and we will offer it to them. But they can also contact us directly if they just want their employees to go through training we already have and want to pay for that training. A lot of people find that they do have employers. To your question earlier about how do people pay for this type of training, a lot of people have training reimbursement at work. They have professional development funds, and people really should make sure they use all of those every year. That's
Yes.
kind of money you leave on the table when you don't use it. So I always say, if your company offers either full or partial reimbursement, don't leave that on the table. Take advantage of that employee benefit, and we can work with companies for direct billing as well. So we can have their employees go through, and the employees won't have to pay us first. We can just directly bill the employer.
Phenomenal. And thank you, Amy, so much for spending some time with us talking about the phenomenal workforce development trainings that they have at Southern. Is how can people reach out to you?
So it's really pretty easy. So again, just go to southernct.edu/OWLL, and you will see all of our programs. And you can also learn about our new digital badging program. We now offer digital badges, which students, once they finish a training, they'll get issued a digital badge and they can share it on LinkedIn. They can put it on a resume and really show employers what they learned. And we hear from the employers, they like seeing digital credentials. It proves that someone can actually do a skill and not just say that they learned a skill, but we've actually vouched that they've learned that skill.
Amy, thank you so much for your time. And hey, Southern, keep on growing.
We will, I promise. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having us today.